Spawning in the top left-hand corner of Whispers of Gold, we have the French Terran player, the French Terran, the blue Terran representing Team Liquid. It is Clem. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the red Protoss player from Denmark representing Sidestorm Gaming. It is MaxPax. Here we go. MaxPax really aggression, winning every small fight, gets in really quick wins. We have seen MaxPax take it to Clem in the mid game, and even in the late game as well. Like, they do trade, they do go back and forth. A lot of it is typically determined by early game momentum. Depending on who gains a lead early on, they're able to take that and run with it and snowball out of control into a greater economy, into greater map control as well. But typically it does come down to who is able to get that momentum, get that advantage first. First things first though, Rax expand. Economic opener out of Clem, going for a Rax into CC here on the low ground. Single cast out of our Terran. Meanwhile, MaxPax going for a standard opener himself. Here we go. Clem makes it look so simple to punish the Zerg before they get their tech. True, it's one of those things where it isn't just about Clem pulling it off, but Clem knowing what Dark is up to, kind of piecing it all together and recognizing when Dark is vulnerable as well, which he is very good at. We see that a lot with Serral. I mean, we see that a lot with Clem versus Serral, where whenever Serral tries to be greedy, Clem, he's there to completely shut Serral down. It's crazy. But now we can see MaxPax, he did confirm the economic opener. He did delay the CC by like a second or two. So a nice little delay there by MaxPax as he does pull away, and Clem will expand. Again, economic opener, as we did mention. MaxPax standard opener back at home. And from here, we settle in. The games are always so good. They are. Always a lot of fun. As we can see, Clem, he does scout for a proxy, making sure that nothing is amiss. Let's rotate over. Likewise, back at home, safety bunker is on the way. Bearing in mind that Clem, he didn't SCV scout across the map, he didn't Reaper scout either, so he's playing it safe, getting a bunker, making sure that he doesn't lose the CC or doesn't lose the SCV. Speaking of, Adept is on the way, and the bunker should finish up in time for the Adept. Should finish in time. Once again, Twilight Council open out of MaxPax. If you were here for the previous series, you would know that MaxPax, he played Twilight Council every game against Beyond. And in general, as we mentioned before, he's been very vocal about his disdain for Stargate play. I wouldn't be surprised if we see Stargate at least once in this series, but it is very map dependent. As so far, one SCV does go down. Nicely done. Does avoid the bunker. And can he get a second SCV? Oh! We can. 2 SCV kills, very nicely done. Adept does barely survive on 2 HP. So far, a better start for MaxPax. Takes down 2 workers, denies mining time. Second Adept has arrived. And ideally, MaxPax, he wants that mule. Doesn't commit. Doesn't commit to the shade. So far, threading another dive. Behind this is going to be Blink. We have an extra gateway on the way. We should be seeing 3-gate Blink out of MaxPax. It is the go-to. So far, getting up to 2 gateways. Shuffling at a MaxPax. Saves the weakened Adept. Does back off. Back at home, we have our 1-1-1. No Banshee play here, going for the earlier Raven instead into Raven Harass. So Raven into tank. Likewise, I assumed it was going to be 3-gate Blink. My apologies, it's going to be 2-gate Blink into a third base. A much more economic build here by MaxPax. Bold move on a map as aggressive as Whispers of Gold. So greedy play here by MaxPax. We'll see if he can get away with it, as he does rush into a much faster third. Meanwhile, Clem, because of his build of choice, doesn't really have any pushing power anyway to punish. He has no medevac, he has no drop play, only has the Raven. So far, he's kept at home by these by these Adepts. Raven moves out for Harass. But for the most part, yeah, Clem, he's just being more passive back at home. Third TC's on the way. And that means that MaxPax, he will get away with that faster third. So nicely done here by MaxPax. He will get away with the greedy build. He won't be punished. From here, he can now take gases. He can start working towards greater tech. Blink is done. Into +1, into charge. Let's see what Clem can get done. We'll see what he can accomplish. Does move out with the Raven. Back at home, we have Stim on the way. We have more tank production. MaxPax does confirm this. He also saw the third CC, so he's aware. He's aware that he's safe. As Clem is expanding. Raven is poised outside the base. There's that charge that we did mention. Again, it's very trendy as of late to go Blink into charge, into delayed Colossus, and delayed splash damage. We'll get there eventually, but until then, MaxPax, he picks away at the add-ons. Not bad. Going for the Tech Lab. Tech Lab goes down. Ooh. Does take some tank shots to the face. Meanwhile, here comes that auto turret. He gets 3 probes. Not a bad start. The Raven does survive. That's what's important. The Raven lives, and we do need to get more damage over time. So more auto turrets here towards the natural, towards the third base. Speaking of our tech, speaking of damage, here comes the Bay on the way. Again, MaxPax, he delayed it in favor of faster charge. It is a safer way to approach this. If Clem moved out, there'd be plenty of charge also to defend against that. And MaxPax is soon going to embrace those Colossus. So we're gearing up towards the mid game. We're gearing up. MaxPax will soon take a 4th, as Clem takes his 3rd. So far, MaxPax maintaining map control, gaining a greater economy. Still needs more time for his army to really come online. Do not underestimate the power of the bio army that Clem is building up. Once he breaks out, he's going to have some pushing power to potentially counterattack and apply pressure to the 4th base. As here comes the 3rd. So Clem expands. Clem breaks out from the contain. Does have Stim, doesn't want to waste it. Sending back the army. Tank does siege. 3rd base not being taken. MaxPax, he's here to delay the 3rd for as long as he can. He does threaten the mineral line. Oh, gets a couple of shots off. No major damage. Takes down 1 Widow Mine. Not bad. Takes down a mine. And Clem should have noticed that. He should notice that there's an observer. So there we go. He does notice. Takes down the observer. He's like, how did you kill my Widow Mine? What's going on? And Clem is down 3 bases. Now, as he takes his 3rd, we can see once again, if Clem moves out, MaxPax is ready to move in. Now, ideally, MaxPax, he wants to wait for a distraction. There we go. He's distracting the main army. He does force the Stim. And here comes MaxPax into the natural. Clem out of position. SCVs are under fire. So far, though, good reaction, good response. Clem barely loses any SCVs. Gets caught out, though. Yeah, nice force fields. 2 Marauders fall. Very nice pickoffs. Here at the natural, 3 SCV kills. Bunker is done, though. Bunker's in position. MaxPax moving in. Trying to pull Clem apart. So far, Clem, he is keeping up. He is sustaining himself. MaxPax gets 1 more SCV. And he still has that Zealot run by ready here at the natural. And likewise, a Prism into the main. He's ready for Clem to move out. Until then, now getting a 3rd Colossus. Once we get up to 3, then we can start Disruptor production. So Disruptors will soon be on the way. Alongside a 2nd Robo, alongside extra gases to afford all of that. So MaxPax is almost there. Likewise, charging on top of the main army. Tanks are exposed. Where's the bio? Yeah, tanks are going down one after the other, and MaxPax, he will break the 3rd. 3rd is being broken. Mineral line's going to be going down. GG gets called, and MaxPax takes game number 1. MaxPax does take the first game. Very well done. And again, MaxPax gaining momentum, gaining map control very early on there. And alas, Clem could not really keep up. He was just stuck at home the entire time. GG. GG, well played. Now, a big reason for this, winding it back, again, a lot of this does come down to the early game. If you remember, MaxPax did cut corners early on. He was greedy, and remember, he wasn't punished. There was no mine drop, there was no major harassment, no major move out early on by Clem. Clem went for an economic opener. into tank Raven, and we did have some Raven harass, but for the most part, MaxPax, he got away with a faster third base, into a faster fourth base, of course, into a greater economy, larger army, did overwhelm Clem, and Clem was not able to punish the greed of MaxPax. That leads us into game number 2. So far, a strong start here from MaxPax, and we'll see if Clem can punish some of that greed. We'll see how Clem will adjust coming into ley lines. Let's go. I'll be honest, I'm a little bit surprised that I'm a little bit surprised that Clem went for a passive start, considering how small Whispers of Gold is. I expected something more aggressive. We'll see if that changes loading into ley lines. As spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of ley lines, we have our Danish Protoss player, the Blue Protoss, representing Storm Gaming, leading the series 1-0. It is MaxPax. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have the red Terran player, the red Terran representing Team Liquid. Down to the series, we'll see if he can bounce back. It is Clem. Well played, early third. Yes, as we did mention, as we did mention during the game, MaxPax got away with more greed, got away with a greater army, of course, with map control. This time, we'll see if Clem opens up double gas. As a reminder, last game, Clem did go for an economic start, which meant that he had a more passive game. Yep, there it is, double gas. So Clem, he's had enough being the defender. Instead, he's going to be the aggressor. Double gas opener leads into a faster factory, leads into a delayed CC. From here, Clem can go into Reactored Reaper Hellion. He can go into a Banshee-based opener. He can go into a Cyclone drop, into a tank drop as well. Clem has, or even a committed mine drop, into a committed mine drop. Clem has a little more options now that he does open up double gas. So I do appreciate this change of pace. We'll see how he does follow this up. Likewise, he looks in the probe, and the probe should be shut down before really seeing too much here. But MaxPax will at least confirm both gases. So upon confirming both gases, MaxPax most likely will not play 2 gates into a third. He'll most likely respond with a 3-gate opener instead. So we're expecting something more aggressive or something more safer out of MaxPax, considering the opener and considering the change. This would be a good map for Stargate because it's large. I would say Stargate openers are more viable on larger maps than ley lines. So I'm referring to Neon Violet Square, Abyssal Reef, and King's Cove. Those are the 3 maps that come to mind. It is riskier here on ley lines or Ultra Love or even Abyssal Reef, of course. Ley lines is larger than Whispers of Gold, but is smaller than the other 3 maps that I mentioned. Smaller than Neon, Abyssal, and Kings. Likewise, the otherwise mentioned maps are also more defendable as well. They're not just large, they're also very fortifiable on 3 and 4 bases. From here, Twilight Council. Twilight Council opener. That will threaten a shade. Oh! And attempts to dive on top of the Reaper. Nice control at it. Clem, he shuts down the Adept. This time doesn't lose anything. And now he moves out. He is continuing Reaper and Hellion aggression. Is continuing production. He's moving out, making his way towards that natural, and we'll see if he can break through. So far, yeah, we fully wall up. MaxPax, he fully walls up, aware he cannot stop this army, not yet. Waiting for reinforcements. He's down to 1 Stalker, and MaxPax, he's buying time. He's buying time for an extra warp in. There we go. 2nd Stalker has arrived. Oh, he wants to get in. Yeah, KDA charge can knock that Stalker out of position. Hellions, they dive into the bases. Boys are being pulled, and workers are falling. Massive damage here. Yeah, probes are falling left and right. Gonna get 4 probe kills so far. Can he get another volley? 6 probes. 6 probes and potentially a Stalker. Nicely done. Yeah, 6 workers, a Stalker, almost a 7 worker towards the end. MaxPax will hold, but damage has been done. And Clem isn't done here. He hasn't finished. Behind this, Cyclone production into a medevac, into drop play. So Clem is gearing up for some drops across the map. Meanwhile, MaxPax trying to regain map control. Behind this, how many gates is he on? 2 gate. I'm a little bit surprised. Yeah, 2 gate opener, not 3 gates, so he has limited warp-ins. Yeah, very limited warp-ins here for MaxPax. If you recall, we assumed it was going to be a 3-gate opener, not 2. MaxPax, he does attempt to counterattack, but he doesn't really have much to work with. Oh! So far, that's not good here on the Stalker. Cyclone takes a lot of hits. Oh my god. Cyclone takes a lot of damage. Clem chasing him down. Oh my god. Calm down. As Clem pulls away. Again, that Cyclone is incredibly low. Behind this, going into the Viking. The Viking just shut down that War Prism. Tank production well underway. He's got 1 tank so far in the main. And MaxPax, yeah, 2 gates blink into a 3rd. But the 3rd base is later than last game because of the early aggression. But still, economic build here by MaxPax. And it means that MaxPax has that much less to apply pressure. So basically what's happening here is that MaxPax, he's puffing up his chest. He's like trying to scare Clem into being more defensive when really he's expanding. So we'll see if this works out. We'll see if this pays off. As Clem, he didn't scout the main. Yeah, he didn't scout the main base. He doesn't know how many gates there were. Clem walling up, getting another tank, being hyper defensive. So far, this is working well here for MaxPax, but what I will say is, unlike the previous game, this is a later expansion, and he lost probes, right? He lost workers, later expansion. This is still a better start for Clem. Right now, there is pressure on MaxPax to not just get away with an economy, but also get damage done. Spreads out those Stalkers. Does spread out the Stalkers. Likewise, pinned outside the bases, waiting for any kind of move out. Observer sees everything in the main. And now we transition into charge +1 and the gateway explosion. Just like the last game, we're going into delayed Colossus. Delayed Colossus, delayed gases, faster zealots. Scan takes down the observer. Observer does fall. As the observer falls, Clem is going for a drop across the map. He's moving out. Yo, safety turret just in case. I do like this, considering that Clem had a stronger start. He's getting ready for DTs, right? Dark Templar is something that we do enjoy. 2 base all in. My apologies, 2 base all in here from Clem. I didn't notice he threw down 2 more Raxes, no add-ons. Based on their positioning, they're hidden. They're hidden away from the observer. There's no add-on potential whatsoever. He chose to throw down these 2 Raxes instead of a 3rd CC. So 2 base all in. Clem, he might pull the boys with this. He might pull the boys. And again, because of the early lead, right now MaxPax is vulnerable. Remember, he has no Colossus. Colossus production was delayed. He did take a faster 3rd base. He has less of an army. And here comes Clem. Clem, he unsieges. He's going to be rallying everything across the map. Stim is now done. +1 in a couple of seconds. Likewise, Prism threatens to dive into the natural. MaxPax going to try and slow him down. Does attempt to. Results into natural, plenty of reinforcements. Yeah, Clem, he holds. He will hold, he will defend. He does force MaxPax back home. And that means he can just send it. He can just send it across the map. This 3rd base is very exposed. 3rd base is vulnerable. Drop survives. Tanks through siege in this base. It's going to go down. MaxPax is going to try to save it. Nice force fields. But the base, yeah, the base goes down. There's no saving this. Clem, he overwhelms, and Clem ties up the series 1-1. Whew. GG. GG, well played. Clem, he pulled off the 2 base all in. Again, a lot of power behind this was because 1, early economic damage that Clem dealt. 2, MaxPax went for a greedy economic follow-up, or I say economic build in general, going 2-gate blink into a 3rd base, and MaxPax just could not stop it. Didn't even need to pull the boys. I assumed he would, but alas, 2 base all in did work out regardless, and Clem overwhelmed. GG. GG, well played. With that, we have a back and forth, we have a tied scoreline, and who will extend that lead? Who will gain an advantage in the series? As we get ready for game number 3, loading into one of the larger maps in the map pool, loading into Amygdala. Let's go. Let us go. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, of Amygdala, we have the Danish Protoss player, the Blue Protoss, representing Sidestorm Gaming, being forced into our title series, but we'll see if we can bring it back. It is MaxPax. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the red Terran player for Team Liquid, from the land of France, representing Team Liquid. It is Clem. Momentum is on his side. And welcome one and all to Amygdala. Amygdala is one of the larger maps in the map pool, very defendable as well. I mean, we saw that this was the one map that Dark was able to get in towards Hive Tech. He did fall as he got into Hive Tech and Ultras, but he was able to get up to a 4-base economy. We expect something similar here as well, where it is a little bit easier to expand and to maintain your 4-base setup on Amygdala. Likewise, the rush distance by ground is very long, but the rush distance by air is short. Just because of all these rocks, it makes it awkward for a ground army, but drop play can still be quite effective. Double gas. Once again, double gas opener. Now, as a reminder, last game this led into Reaper Hellion aggression early on. Very committed Reaper Hellion. We don't have to see that again, though. Clem has options. He could go Reaper Hellion for a second game, true. Could do it again. Or he could go for a faster tech lab on the starport into Banshee. He can go into earlier Cyclones. He can go for earlier tanks. There is potential here for Clem to mix it up. Regardless, aggressive start. And MaxPax confirms. He does see both, or he did see the mining worker, so he did confirm both gases. And if you recall last game, because of the double gas opener, we assumed, or I assumed, that MaxPax was going to open up 3-gate blink, but he didn't. He still was quite greedy in his response. He opened up 2-gate blink instead. Here on Amygdala, the rush distance by ground is longer than that on ley lines, so I could see an argument for 2-gate blink here as well, more so than 3-gate, more so than ley lines, but at the same time it's still quite risky, and I don't know if you want to take that risk against Clem of all players, right? He's literally the reigning world champion. Like, he's known for being aggressive as well, and I don't know if it's wise to cut corners against him. Not in this kind of game state. We did see Clem going for the CC on the high ground, so a very safe location for the command center. Factory is done. It is going to be a Twilight Council opener out of MaxPax. Twilight Council into Blink. There's that tech lab, and the question becomes, with this starport follow-up, do we go for an add-on swap? Do we go Cyclone into Medevac into Tank Drop across the map? Tank Drops are very popular on this map because of the short rush distance by air, which we did mention. They are popular, so that's what you got. It's not Hellion, not this time. And there are no Reapers, Marines instead. So Cyclone with Marines, and we're waiting for that Medevac, and we're waiting for the Tank Drop follow-up. That's what this feels like. Adept pokes in, sees the command center on the high ground. Does spot the command center. Yep, Medevac's on the way. Most likely after the Cyclone, we should be seeing a tank. So this is going to be an early tank drop. Hyper-aggressive build here from Clem. He's going to be rallying everything across the map. And MaxPax, how many gates will he have? Gateway, Robo, we have 1 gate in the main, so far 2 gates and a Robo. Third gateway, let's go. Third gateway gets thrown down for the first time this series. 3-gate blink, a very safe opener. So far so good. Likewise, if MaxPax realizes how much danger he's in, if he realizes how much or how aggressive we're being here, then he can make a safety immortal. Speaking of, second pylon's on the way, and a shield battery as well. He is reacting very strong to this. So a very strong reaction out of MaxPax. Clem is moving out. Now, I assumed it was going to be a tank. It is not. No tank, add-on swap instead. It's going to be Cyclone and a Marine drop. It is less aggressive, but aggressive nonetheless. Does catch the Adept, he's moving in, and does force a very strong response out of MaxPax. Very strong response. Clem dips into the main, harasses the natural, Marines do drop in, they're going for the mineral line. Boys are being pulled, and so far he gets 1, he gets 2, he gets 3. 3 probes so far, not bad. Stalker as well, Blink is not done, finishing up in 10 seconds. And a Stalker goes down, he gets 1, he gets 2 more Stalkers. Oh, this is getting out of hand. It's getting out of hand here. 8 probe kills. 8 probes and 2 Stalkers. Did I say 8? Up to 9. And the Medevac survives. The Medevac does survive, does get out. And Clem does kick things off with a lead. So the aggression was worth it. Behind this, he's saturating on 2 bases. Getting a 3rd Rax, getting to a 3-1-1 setup. And bearing in mind, Clem, he saw everything. He saw both gateways at the natural, and he saw the gateway in the main. He knows about the 3-gate blink. He's getting ready. Bunker's almost done. Tanks are sieging up. Sim City is solid. He knows what's coming. Even a 2nd bunker just to be secure, just to be safer. Now, even though he knows what's coming, can he survive it? Can he defend? Stalkers, they blink in. Oh. Raven pulls away. Stalkers, they're pinned back. Nice control with the SCVs. But 2 SCVs still fall. 3 SCVs. Oh my god. Stalker does fall though. MaxPax, he gets punished for the blink. Getting a 3rd. Yeah, MaxPax, he's getting a 3rd base. He's not reinforcing anywhere near as hard. MaxPax, he doesn't believe he can break the defensive line of Clem, so he takes the 3rd base instead. And I don't think that MaxPax can break him either. So he's going to try to macro out of this. Right now, the pressure's on MaxPax to find some damage. Ideally, he wants to catch a tank, get a medevac, a Viking, a couple of Marines, a Marauder, maybe deny some of these add-ons, get into the mineral line. Needs something. Does blink in, doesn't get an SCV. Oh, he's forced to recall as well. So, rough game here for MaxPax. He didn't find the damage he was hoping for. And now the question becomes, where's the 3rd CC? We should be seeing a 3rd CC momentarily here for Clem. One of 2 things. Either we see a 3rd CC or 2 more Raxes. It's going to be the CC. Yeah, Clem is in position. There it is. 3rd CC is on the way. No crazy 2-base roll in this time. He is expanding. MaxPax, he's still looking for damage. Behind this, working towards his follow-up. Charge, +1, gateway explosion. MaxPax, he will get an SCV. Gets 1. 1 SCV goes down. Now working towards his Bay, working towards Colossus. Fun fact, despite seeing the same build 3 games in a row, we have not seen a single Colossus yet. Like, we haven't seen a single Colossus in this series. We've just never gotten that far. We've had some fast games. No, I guess, actually, we saw 1 Colossus in Game 1. True. We did see 1 Colossus at the end of Game 1. That was basically when the game ended, if you recall. Didn't get there in Game 2. But we should get there this time. Base finishing, Colossus should be on the way. And Clem, he breaks out. Does break out of his contain. And from here, ideally, Clem wants to deny the 4th. He wants to deny the 4th base. Ooh, before that can happen, though, MaxPax, he's ready for a run by. This has potential. Oh. Like, as Clem moves out, MaxPax can move in. And this has potential for a lot of damage. There is a Viking in position, though. Oh, Clem will spot this ahead of time. He doesn't turn around, he commits. Does commits, more auto starts into the main base. He's also going to be falling. And Clem, he is bleeding out SCVs. That's going to be 8 SCV kills. Prism goes down. And here comes the main army. Here comes the main force. And MaxPax, what does he have to defend? He has a couple of zealots. The Colossus is halfway done. Clem, he scans. He's looking for the base. He just checked the 4th towards the top side. Remember, his goal here is deny the 4th. Deny the 4th base, but there is none. Not yet. Just now on the way. That expansion is so vulnerable. Clem is chasing down these stalkers. Still doesn't know where the expansion is. Oh, MaxPax, he spins towards the top side, and Clem, he rotates. He's already here. Wow, good read here by Clem. He rotated ahead of time, and he will contain MaxPax. And the base is not going to finish. And that is Clem's win. Oh my god, oh no! The stalkers. The missed rally. Walks into the army. MaxPax in trouble here. Zealots are falling one after the other. Clem moving in. Has that supply lead. And again, a lot of this came down to the early game as well. Like, MaxPax, he's been struggling to recover this entire game. And is now up against the wall. He has 2 Colossus, true. But he has no Zealots. He has no buffer. He needs those Zealots to build up. He needs some kind of support for the Colossus. Tanks are moving. Oh, not moving in. Let me backs off. Clem does retreat, falls back to the Widow Mines. Respects the warp in. Clem being very careful. And true, Clem, he doesn't have to push in. He doesn't have to engage. Remember, what is Clem's win condition? Deny the 4th. If he can contain MaxPax on 3 bases, then Clem, he's ahead. That's all he needs. Just deny the 4th base time and time again. If he sees an opening, he can go for the kill. But outside of that, there's no rush. There's no rush for Clem. As Clem is on 3 bases himself. Clem now taking up into the Ghost Academy. Armory as well. He rotates. MaxPax taking the 4th. Clem, he's here to knock it down. Again, this is all Clem has to just rotate and deny the 4th. Where are the Stalkers? Stalkers are a little bit far back. Yep, there's a cancel. There's a deny. It's just a game of whack-a-mole here. Just back and forth and back again. Clemmy pulls away. MaxPax, he will attempt to re-expand. The Marine does spot the probe. MaxPax trying to counterattack, trying to catch out the army. Tanks are sieged. MaxPax, he needs a base. At the same time, though, going for a Zealot run by, there is a bunker in position. The Widow Mines, oh my god, Widow Mines don't quite go up. And nice counterattack here by MaxPax. He does distract the army. Everything races back home. Clem turns around. Does turn back around. The Observer does confirm this. MaxPax catching any kind of stragglers. 3 ACVs do fall. Decent damage, and here comes the 4th base. Now, MaxPax, he did force Clem back home, but can he actually hold on to that 4th? Can he get it up and running? That's the question. It's been a struggle, but it's on the way. It's on the way. Does get a Viking. Let's bring one down. 4th CC is already done for Clem. Oh, he is still ahead. Yeah, Clem, he still maintains a lead. So typically in this matchup, the Protoss player wants to be up a base to maintain their economy against the Terran because of mules. Because of just how expensive a Protoss army can be as well. Protoss they need to be up in expansion against Terran. Right now, we're getting even on bases, which is better for Clem. So Clem, he has a better economy. And, I mean, that's easily reflected now in the supply. Clem is maxed. The reason why it's maxed because it's been 3 base versus 3 base. Like, Clem just has had the better economy the entire game. There it goes up. Ooh, nice splits. Does avoid. With a couple of Novas, though, we could recover. Depending on those connections. Speaking of, no connections yet. Max is going for another Zealot run by, but there are reinforcements, or a Ghost, or a Widow Mines, or a Vikings. Clem, he defends, and he pushes in. He scans. No 4th? Where is it? Top side. 4th base is elsewhere. Clem, he rotates. Leaves out a couple of SCVs. Dark Templar on the way. The base is getting up. We have cannons, we have shield batteries. MaxPax is in position. Despite being down in supply, with some well-placed Novas, MaxPax, he can hold. Oh. It's a Viking. Gets a Viking. DTs, they hit the mineral lines. SCVs are going down. No turrets. He's not ready. Yeah, Clem, he's being eviscerated back at home. The Dark Templar, the Invisible Man. MaxPax, he's coming back in this game. 27 SCV kills. Likewise, catching out reinforcements as a free tank as well. Clem, he had a massive lead. He had a massive advantage. He was up like 30-40 supply. But now suddenly MaxPax, he's tying this up. The power of the Invisible Man, it's still there, by the way. The DTs are still wreaking havoc. Mate, how do you recover from a 30 supply deficit with Dark Templar? There's still one in the main as well. 35 SCV kills. And these DTs are winning MaxPax this game. Yeah, the MVPs from MaxPax. 3 Dark Templar. Clem, he misses the main army. We couldn't base rate. We couldn't end up in a base rate here. As Clem goes for the 4th, MaxPax just goes straight for the natural. Oh. Spots the main army, takes out a tank. Now, in a head-on fight, I still favor Clem. Bear that in mind. I do still favor him, but here comes a surround. An attempted surround, massive EMPs. Nervous go up. They catch some of the army. Clem force a split. But the Colossus go down. Vikings, they land on the disruptors, and MaxPax, he will lose everything here. He will lose everything. There's a recall, and he saves one. He saves one disruptor. As MaxPax, he plummets in supply. GG gets called. That fight was not it. And Clem, he will still take the game. He will take a lead. GG. Whew. GG, well played. A much stronger fight there for Clem. Shout out to MaxPax, though. He made a game out of it. He eviscerated the economy. He basically forced Clem all in. But the problem is that, again, as we mentioned, Clem in a head-on fight, he was still favored. He still had a terrifying army. And even though MaxPax did cripple the economy, he could not fight that army head-on. Not like that. Not in that kind of open area. Not without shield batteries and cannons and support. In the end, MaxPax did lose everything. GG. GG, well played. With that, Clem is one game away from claiming the series. One game away. And we'll see if he can. We'll see if MaxPax can force the ace match. Can MaxPax force the ace match? The pressure is on. Here we go. Seems whoever gets early momentum gets the win. Right now, I would say the consensus amongst the pro players, like referring to thoughts from Skillus, from MaxPax, from Clem, from Bjorn, they've said that early momentum in TVP, not just these two players, but in this matchup specifically, is really important. It's just really important in TVP. Like, early momentum typically does dictate how a lot of the game goes. Not saying that it confirms the win. Like, even last game, for example, Clem was ahead early on, but MaxPax, he almost pulled his way back in, right? Like, there are ways to recover, there are ways to bounce back, but it's like it is a big part of this matchup. And here we go, spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Ultra Love, we have our Danish Protoss player, our blue Protoss, representing Storm Gaming, up against the wall. We'll see if he can recover. We'll see if he can bounce back and force the ace match. It is MaxPax. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have the French Terran player, the red Terran representing Team Liquid. It is Clem. Hello. What's going on? As Clem, he does move out with the SCV, and I imagine this is going to be for an eBay block. Yes, he's going for the block here at the natural. His goal here is to disrupt the opener of the Protoss, as the eBay is on the way. We go. Clem had to defend a lot of harassing counterattacks and a lot of army movement before we could finally force a head-on engagement. Yes, in that last game, as we kind of were mentioning, there was a lot of pressure on MaxPax to do any kind of harassing damage because he was behind, right? Because he was contained on 3 bases. Clem was doing a great job at containing MaxPax, and MaxPax, he had to get some damage done, and he was, right? I mean, whether it was a little bit less so the Zealot run buys, but the DTs, right? Like, the DTs really did almost seal the deal there for MaxPax, did kind of force the all-in out of Clem. Meanwhile, Clem got what he wanted. What did he want? eBay block, and he forces the unnatural natural. This is the ideal situation for Clem. And now it's on Clem to punish this. So now that we're in this kind of game state, MaxPax is very awkward to defend both locations at once. Whenever Clem moves out, if he goes Reaper Hellion, for example, he can pick and choose. Does he want to harass the natural? Does he want to harass the main base? He can go back and forth. It can be very difficult for a Protoss player to defend in this position. Not impossible, but difficult. You have to split up your army. We need shield batteries as well. We need stack defense. So right now the ball is in Clem's court. Ball is in Clem's court. Twilight Council opener out of MaxPax. Going for extra gateways. Reaper dips in. And does catch some transferring workers. First probe goes down. And Clem, he is making only the one with Hellion. Okay, only one Hellion, not additional Hellions. So just one Hellion into a mine drop. Clem gets a second probe. And he does get a full scout. He confirms the tech and the opener. Twilight Council with extra gateways. So Clem is aware. Adept shades into the main. Adept gets a full scout as well. Gets a full scout of the main base. Confirms the 1-1-1. Confirms the CC on the high ground. We'll lose the Adepts, but not bad. Not bad here from MaxPax. At least he confirms the lack of add-ons as well. That's what's important here. So without any add-ons, he knows there's no Cyclone, he knows there's no Banshee, he knows there's no early tank. It should be Widowmine. So MaxPax, he can deduce what's going on. I mean, the other, yeah. I was going to say the alternative would be Reactor Reaper Hellion, but he knows that there are no Reapers. Marines instead. MaxPax trading very well here. Picks off 3 Marines. We'll lose the Adept. Widowmine's forced to burrow. And Clem, he doesn't go for anything too aggressive here. Stays back at home. So even though MaxPax had an uncomfortable start, he's not going to be punished. He's not going to be punished. MaxPax, he will be able to freely saturate and get a 3rd base. Question becomes, how many gateways is getting a 3rd gate? So 3 gate blink out of MaxPax. Also, he did zone away the medevac. He was able to keep up and force Clem back. So far, nice movement here by MaxPax. Zoning away the Terran. And now we need to take stock here when it comes to the openers. I mean, MaxPax, he's getting his 3rd gateway, not a 4th. He's moving out with the Prism. MaxPax is about to gain map control. And Clem just hasn't really been too aggressive, and he doesn't really have much aggressive potential. He's going to be more defensive instead. He's going to be stuck at home. He's building up tanks. He's going to be stuck at home. And MaxPax now has potential to find some damage. Let's go. Moves out. Hellion does hit the mineral line. Oh. Gets 1 probe. Just the 1. Stalker's moving in. There is 1 tank to defend. Does blink in. Goes for the tank. Gets 1 volley up. Gets 2. Tank goes down. Massive pickup. And with that, Stalkers have free reign to the main base. They have free reign. They pick up the Marines. He can go for the mineral line. Boys are being pulled. Clem is in trouble here. Oh my god, loses the Raven. Okay, Raven goes down. Tank goes down. SCVs. Getting how many? 2 SCVs so far. MaxPax trades well. He trades well across the map. The Widowmine drop does nothing. Gets 4 workers in total. Is zoned away. Clem, where are we going? the boys, it's too early. He does pull the boys. They do arrive, and that is potentially 5 dead workers for free. That is not intentional. That is miscontrol out of Clem, and this is some pretty substantial damage here. Losing 5 SCVs. Ay, ay, ay. Again, that should not have happened. Basically, those were the workers that Clem pulled when he was defending the main. It looks like he A-moved those SCVs across the map instead of just here in the main base, and he never rerouted. He never rerouted the SCVs. So with that, that's 5 more worker kills, and Clem, he's falling apart a little bit here. Server goes down. Clem is contained, down in workers, and MaxPax, he wants to break through. There's no tank. There's no tank on the low ground. Targets down the Marauder. Doesn't quite get it. Oof, does get the Viking. Viking goes down. Clem is still up against the wall. Widowmine drop comes in. Oh, waddling forward. MaxPax does pull away. Oh my god. Calm down. They're retargeting. Does pull away in time. MaxPax defends, and MaxPax takes the lead. He's on 3 bases. He's on a 3-base economy. He's up in workers. Clem is still trying to fortify himself, trying to recover. And MaxPax, he's chilling. Nice snipe on the other observer. Nice snipe. But all MaxPax has to do is contain. Just spread out his stalkers, make sure he catches any kind of drop play, and contain Clem while he saturates on 3 and then takes a 4th. Like, there's nothing stopping MaxPax from getting a 4th base as well. The only thing stopping him would be a 2-base all-in, but checking his vision, he saw the 3rd CC. He knows he's safe. He knows that he's safe to expand. If he didn't see the CC, then he might be a little bit more apprehensive about taking a 4th, but he knows he is free to do so. MaxPax is getting a 4th base, building up his gateways, getting to charge. Soon will begin Colossus production. Job moves out, gets spotted by MaxPax. And Clem has to get out of here. Oh! Doesn't blink in. Whew. Doesn't quite blink. Clem gets away. But the drop is denied. That's what's important here. Clem, he attempted to drop across the map, but he got spotted. Likewise, Zell dropping to the mineral line. Trying to force friendly fire. Clem still trapped. I'm still stuck. Stuck at home. Looking to break out. See, he's now getting his third. Third base is on the way. Stalker's pushing forward. And you can see MaxPax getting ready here for a bit of a tri-pronged attack. Takes down the tank. And here comes that Prism. Prism is getting ready. Ooh. MaxPax does get punished. That's going to be 3 Stalkers going down. But Clem, he finally expands. And MaxPax, I mean, he's on 4 bases. He's fine. Perfectly fine. Perfectly safe and sound. The Colossus are building up. So we can go for a Zealot drop into the natural, Zealot run by in between the bases, and likewise main army as well. As the first Colossus has arrived across the map. Zealots on the right hand side, collapsing in the army. A little bit mistimed. A little bit mistimed here from MaxPax. But honestly, MaxPax, he doesn't have to break this. He doesn't have to push in. He can just chill. He can just chill. And it's almost like a role reversal of last game, where Clem was just, his win condition was denied the 4th. Here, MaxPax's win condition is also just contain Clem on 3 bases. Just contain the Terran. Take a 5th expansion. There we go. Yeah, 5th base on the way. Why not? Just make sure that Clem never expands, never moves out. That's all that MaxPax needs to do. All of this came down to just the early aggression from MaxPax, killing all those SCVs. I mean, the miscontrol as well to Clem, sending SCVs across the map as well, sniping the tank, sniping the Raven. A lot that went well for MaxPax. Likewise, catching out the fire. Oh my god, brutal force fields. Marines go down. Marauder as well. MaxPax ready for that Zealot counterattack. Max, I see we got a second robo on the way. That's going to be for double disruptor production. That's all he needs. And with disruptors, it's going to be a little bit easier to push into the Terran. Let's break that defensive line. Clem now taking a 4th. MaxPax, he should not allow this to happen. He's rotating. He's rotating over. Likewise, Prism into the main. He's got DTs and Zealots. Main army moves in. MaxPax, the pressure is on. First Colossus almost going down. There's that first Nova. DT is here towards the 3rd base. And MaxPax, he should deny the expansion. Playing careful though. Doesn't want to overextend. There's a lot of Vikings, a lot of Marauders. Reinforcements have arrived. Again, he's only got the 1 disruptor. Yo, rotates over to the other side. Takes down the tank. Ooh. Trades a tank for a Colossus. Second Colossus under fire. Baylor doesn't get the other. And Clemmy's holding. Impressive. Clemmy holds on. He takes the 4th. And MaxPax, he does plummet in supply. So take a lot of hits. Never goes up. Decent connection. Decent connection, but Clemmy breaks out, stims on in, takes down the Zealots. Colossus goes down. He lost everything. He lost all the Colossus, all the disruptors. MaxPax taking a brutal fight, losing almost every robo unit. And MaxPax is in trouble. Clem, he breaks out, he breaks free. Jumps in the tower, rotates over, make sure he doesn't get surrounded. MaxPax attempting the surround. Vikings, they land behind the army. Zealots are moving in. And they're going to be dealt with as well. Yeah, Zealots do fall. And Clem, he's just snowballing out of control here. Once he broke free, once he broke out, he cannot be contained. Nova doesn't connect. And MaxPax is down to 1 Nova. Down to 0. 0 disruptors, 0 Novas left, and he cannot hold. He cannot hold on with the Gateway Army. The Swarm Toss does nothing. Robo goes down. And Clem, he's done it. He's done it. We are not going to get an ace match. MaxPax was in a good position, but he could not deny the 4th base. Took a rough fight, lost everything. Zealot harass across the map. They get some damage. But the main army cannot be stopped. Oh, there's 1 Nova. Never mind. Never mind. Nova doesn't go up. And another expansion falls. And Clem is going to do it again. We did have a back and forth. We'll say that. It was an intense series between these two. But Clem, he will claim it. GG gets called, and Clem, he will take the series 3-1, advancing on to the grand finals. GG. GG, well played. Swarm toss. It's when you go mass zealot. So you go mass zealot, zealot stalker. But yeah, GG, well played. Clem, he will claim the series, will advance on. My condolences to MaxPax. He did put up a really good fight. And I'll be honest, MaxPax, he was in a really good position. Remember, he had 5 bases. He had map control. He was containing Clem, but he wasn't able to stop the 4th from getting up and running. Likewise, Clem was able to outposition those Colossus. Time and time again, we saw some big Viking volleys going off, and he was able to shut down the 1st and the 2nd Colossus real fast and real quick, and eventually collapsed on the army. Likewise, you could argue that MaxPax took a little bit too long to get the 2nd Robo. I will say that. The 2nd Robo, and specifically transition into Disruptors. His Disruptors were late. By the time he got into his Disruptors, Clem broke out, right? If you remember, I don't think MaxPax ever had more than 2 Disruptors. I don't think he ever had more than 2 at a time. He was shut down before he could really get them underway. Without them, he could not stop the advance of the Terran. Could not stop Clem. Could not stop him. GG, well played. Very well done here by Clem, as he will make it to those grand finals. And MaxPax is still in the tournament. So don't worry. Do not worry. Do not fret. That's all good. Do not worry. Do not fret. MaxPax, he is still in the tournament. And we're going to be catching up with more of MaxPax on Friday. What do I mean by that? Here we go. Let's just quickly update some of these scores. Un momento. Let us update some of the score lines here. And catch up on the bracket. Un momento. Beautiful. Okay. As we do switch our scenes over and catch up on the bracket. Okay, speaking of bracket, I got you. Bam! Beautiful. So, the OSC Season 12 Championship is a big boy, papi. It's a massive bracket. It's a lot to get into. Basically, we had, over 32 players getting involved, and now we are down to our top, I want to say top 6. So scrolling on over here, we have the matches that we just covered here today. We have, actually, can I zoom in a little bit? Let's see. See if I can make this a little bit more clear. Okay, that's a little bit better. Here we go. So we do have the upper bracket semifinals. MaxPax took down Beyond 3-1. Clem took down Dark, of course, and that led into the series we just casted. It led into the upper bracket finals, where Clem did advance on over MaxPax. With that, Clem is in the grand finals, but this is all just the upper bracket. We still have the lower bracket to indulge in. So scrolling down to the lower bracket, we have our upcoming matches. We have a Hero. Hero today, he just took down Solar 3-2. Likewise, Skillus just took down Geralt. And we have our... Oh, actually, did I miss something here? And we have our next match. We have our next series. It is going to be Hero versus Dark. Hero versus Dark is going to be coming up next in the lower bracket, and here we have Skillus versus Bjorn. We'll have to update that, but Bjorn is here next to Skillus. They're going to be facing off. So a TVP and a TVZ that leads into the winners versus each other in the next round. And then that leads into MaxPax. MaxPax, he's waiting in the lower bracket finals for a chance at a rematch against Clem. So Clem, he's waiting in the grand finals. He's waiting for all of these matches to wrap up before he gets his next challenger. So we have MaxPax, Dark, Hero, Skilless, and Bjorn. Again, do apologize. We'll have to fix up the bracket, but Bjorn is here. Next is Skilless. And these matches we are going to be catching up on Friday. We're wrapping up here for today's broadcast. Jeez, time flew by, but 5-hour cast. But we are going to be wrapping up for today, and we're going to be concluding the OSC Season 12 Championship on Friday. Here we go. Just catching up on our schedule here. You can see before you our weekly schedule. We just wrapped up with our early Wednesday cast. You can see here at 9 AM KST on Wednesday. The next OSC cast is going to be Friday at 6 PM KST. That is going to be 8 PM AEST, and it'll be at your time of choosing, just as a heads up. So we're going to be wrapping up on Friday. Our next cast on this channel is going to be tomorrow in less than 24 hours. We're going to be casting the Tenacious Total Tussle. That's going to be Thursday morning into the Pond cast in the evening. We have Amanthus on Friday. We have KSL. We have SEL. We have FSL on Sunday and Sparkling Tunic Cup. Again, our schedule is stacked. Our schedule is full of plenty of matches and plenty of StarCraft. Plenty of content on the channel. If you enjoyed the casting, if you enjoy the tournaments, the content, the StarCraft, then consider following us as we do cast and we do stream on a daily basis multiple times a day. You can see here that we only have one cast on Wednesdays. That's something new that we're doing this year, is instead of casting 2 times a day every single day, we have half a day off. Let's go. We have half a day off, Pappy. And what that really means is that I'm going to spend that time editing VODs. I'm going to edit VODs. I'm going to upload to YouTube. I'm going to work behind the scenes, get some food as well. Oh my God. And get some rest before the rest of the week. So this is also usually the time that I stream. So I at times last week I was laddering on my own personal channel, but I didn't get much sleep today. I'm not really feeling at 100%, so I think I'm gonna calm down on streaming today. But I should stream tomorrow after the Turtle Tussle, before the podcast. I should have a ladder session. And again, I do apologize. I try to stream like twice a week, Wednesday and Thursday, but I think today we'll slow down and we'll catch up on some work. I got a lot of thumbnails to make. I have to make a lot of YouTube thumbnails and a lot of work to catch up on. But regardless, thank you so much for watching. Thanks so much for the support. If you wanna follow us, you can do so via all the social medias. Here we go! Exclamation mark socials in the chat. You will get a link to our social media, to Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, Mastodon, Blue Sky, all things CranKy Ducklings. We're all over the place. It's all good, Cass. All good. Late game Protoss can out Zerg or Zerg played. It's super ridiculous. It can happen. It can. It's happened before. It'll happen again. It's crazy. It's crazy. They can swarm the Terran. But you can follow us. Otherwise, you can also support us on Patreon. Exclamation mark Patreon in the chat. You can actually see here we did reach our goal on Patreon. Just barely. That is to boost the prize pool on STC. Kind of. Like, this is a little bit. It's a little bit misleading, I will say. It's hard to say, but basically we did reach that goal, but there coming into the next month there was a cancellation on Patreon, so we're not quite fully there yet, but we're close. We're very close here to reaching and to maintaining that goal on Patreon, to be able to support and to grow our online tournaments, to support and grow Sparkling Tunic Cup, Masters 1 Open, and and Sea Duckling Open as well. So if you want to help support our tournaments, if you want to help support StarCraft, then you can do so via Patreon. It does support these tournaments here. You can see these are some amateur events. Sea Duckling Open is a tournament for Diamond players. Masters 1 Open is a tournament for Masters players, and Sparkling Tunic Cup is a tournament for Pro players. So these are the 3 tournaments that we do host on a regular basis, and you can support them via Patreon if you wish. You can help us grow them and help us fund them as well. So thank you. Thank you so much to all the supporters we have on Patreon. Thank you so much to all of our subscribers as well. And with that, we are wrapping up for the day. You can also follow us on YouTube. Our YouTube channel does upload on a daily basis. We have plenty of VODs on YouTube. Again, if you notice our skit, like, we cast a lot of StarCraft. And if you see something that you like and if you can't watch it live, check it out on YouTube. Because I'm sure you'll find it there. And there's plenty of content. Again, we've been casting StarCraft since 2017. So there's a lot of content from many years ago, and even of course more recent times as well. We started casting full time 2020. COVID was when we committed to casting StarCraft. But before that, we would stream a couple of times a week, and then we did commit, and now we're here casting 2 times a day, almost every day. It's crazy. All the content, all the StarCraft. Otherwise, thanks for watching. Thanks for the support. We'll see you guys tomorrow for the Turtle Tussle, or whenever we see you next time for the next OSC Season 12 Championship. Otherwise, we'll see you then. Thanks for watching. Stick around. We're going to be giving another StarCraft streamer a raid. I'll find someone to send everyone over to. Who can we raid? Who can we support? Let's have a look. Let us have a look. Sal is streaming. Let's go. Sal is playing the campaign. Practice X is laddering. We have old mate Samuel. I haven't seen Samuel stream in a long time. I could raid Samuel. Who else? Don't see many others. But yeah, with that, thanks for watching. Stick around, give another StarCraft streamer some support as we do give them a raid. And we'll see you guys tomorrow for some more StarCraft action. Otherwise, thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. Ciao, bye, ciao. See you next time. Hasta luego.